There's finally a big update to the status of the Hurt Business, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what Eva Marie had to say about her return to WWE and much more. Let's start things off with the latest on the Hurt Business because this has been a roller coaster of a story to follow. The big initial teaser for the Hurt Business reuniting was when MVP made a move to squash his issue with Bobby Lashley. MVP and Bobby Lashley accomplished a lot during their time together, including multiple WWE World title reigns, and of course the creation of the Hurt Business. That partnership would go on to last for a few years, but ultimately ended in a pretty nasty split between Bobby Lashley and MVP. MVP would leave Bobby Lashley's side and use his new client, Omos, to take down his former #1 client, Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley had a long feud with both Omos and MVP, which officially marked the end of MVP and Bobby Lashley being paired up with each other on WWE television. But like we said earlier, MVP wanted to fix all this in late 2022. Bobby Lashley had just been temporarily fired from WWE within the storyline, and it was MVP who spoke up and pulled some strings with Adam Pearce to get Bobby Lashley reinstated to WWE. MVP would then bring up this fact to Bobby Lashley, letting him know that it was basically all his doing that Lashley was reinstated to WWE, and MVP's plan appeared to have partially worked. Bobby Lashley said that him and MVP were cool again after what he did for him. But MVP had another offer and revealed his true intentions behind squashing things with Bobby Lashley. MVP revealed that he wanted to get the Hurt Business back together and wanted to know if Lashley wanted in on the group again, but Bobby Lashley turned down the offer from MVP and said that he needed more time to think about it. So that's the moment and situation that really kicked off what we thought would be a reunion story for the Hurt Business, and more teasers and hints followed that big moment. We saw instances of MVP talking to Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, and it really looked like it was going somewhere, but nothing ever happened. MVP did keep the conversation and buzz going on social media by posting several backstage pictures of him meeting with different superstars to discuss his business. MVP posted pictures with the Street Profits, Carmelo Hayes, and many more. But there was no real progression for the story and reunion on WWE television. A popular fan theory and basically last resort idea for the Hurt Business reunion was for Bobby Lashley to maybe get involved during the WrestleMania 39 match between Brock Lesnar and Omos. Bobby Lashley had a detailed last with all three men that were a part of that WrestleMania match. He has had rich history with MVP. He has his prior feud with Omos and his extremely recent issues with Brock Lesnar. So knowing how Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar didn't really get a satisfying final chapter, fans thought that maybe this would be a great spot to keep both stories progressing by having Bobby Lashley come to the rescue of Omos and MVP to help them out against Brock Lesnar. That would finally give some great progression to Bobby Lashley, possibly warming up more to the idea of aligning himself with MVP and the Hurt Business, while also reigniting his feud with Brock Lesnar in a major way. But as we saw at WrestleMania and the weeks that followed WrestleMania, nothing like that ended up happening. MVP and Omos are still keeping their partnership going. Bobby Lashley is doing his own thing, while Cedric and Shelton Benjamin haven't been seen at all on WWE television in forever. So a lot of fans have been wondering about what exactly is the status of the Hurt Business reunion story that was teased and hinted at for several months. Well, according to the latest reports, the Hurt Business reunion story was allegedly cancelled and scrapped. This isn't the most shocking news to hear though. A majority of fans automatically assumed that this was the case once we stopped seeing teasers and progressions for the story on Raw. So no one knows why they introduced the story and teased it, only to end up canceling it. Maybe something popped up and changed the plans along the way. But for now, it looks like all the plans for a Hurt Business reunion or a new version of the faction has been put on the back burner. So we'll have to wait and see if the Hurt Business reunion will ever be revisited and if they can pick up from where they last left off at down the line. But for now, it appears that everything has been called off. Eva Marie instantly jumped into superstardom in WWE through her appearance of the Total Divas reality show. And shortly after Total Divas first aired, Eva Marie would join the main roster and start making regular appearances on Raw, Smackdown, and NXT as well. Her run with the company would continue until 2016, where she was released from WWE. And Eva went on to have great success outside of WWE with several different projects that she was working on during that time away from WWE. But in 2021, it was confirmed that Eva Marie was making a return to WWE. Her character was now being portrayed as this massive megastar who was coming back and wanted to share her knowledge and spotlight with upcoming talent. So everyone thought that Eva would come back as this massive heel manager. But that's not exactly what went down. Eva came back to sort of act like a manager towards Piper Niven. But it definitely wasn't close to what fans were originally expecting from those first few vignettes. And the run was also shorter than fans expected. Eva Marie had one big feud with Alexa Bliss in the summer of 2021, a short breakup story with Piper, and then was never seen or heard of again in WWE until she was once again released in November 2021. So now that it's been a few years since she last stepped foot inside a WWE ring, Eva's being asked about the chances of returning to WWE. Eva Marie had this to say during an interview with WrestleZone about the topic of returning to WWE. Quote, "Of course, that door is always open. I mean, we're in constant talks. When I had originally left, I was filming my first lead action movie, so that door is definitely one of those things that is always open. And I'm definitely down to always cause some trouble and stir up some things, that's for sure." End quote. So Eva Marie and WWE's relationship appears to be in great condition and full of constant communication. Eva Marie did reveal a few months back that this is how her 2021 WWE return came to light. She was constantly in talks with WWE, and the offer to return popped up one day, and she took them up on that offer. So it looks like history could repeat itself there for Eva Marie. She's on great talking terms with WWE, and if the right opportunity presents itself again, it looks like we could definitely see another WWE return take place for Eva Marie. Is a Eva Marie return something you want to see in the future? And what are your thoughts about the rumored cancellation of MVP's Hurt Business reunion as well? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.